have to know now. Why did you guys get divorced?
So welcome back. Hello, everybody. This is the Talk Podcast. So I'm excited. I've been seeing this on YouTube on, let's say, the people that I kind of watch here and there. They've been reacting to this, and I found it like interesting because I have been watching the financial audit here and there like for a few months now. But it's always about finance and some here and there little shade. It's quite interesting. If you guys want to watch it, definitely take a look. I would recommend. But I was thinking, why are these other YouTubers talking about the financial audit when it comes to relationship? Why? What's going on? But there is some gossip on the financial audit, and I just had to look into it because I've been seeing it everywhere. And I was like, what's going on? So let's see what's going on.
Got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I got into a situation.
How long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
And you got with this person.
I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. That wasn't the case because he was married. Technically, I was married to.
You and the married guy, banging it up. You were.
Yeah, of course.
And he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically.
Do we actually need to watch? Like, that was all the gossip in the intro, I guess.
I'm Daphne. I'm 34. I'm from Huntsville, Texas, and this is Financial Audit.
Welcome over to Austin. Don't know where Huntsville is, but what do you do for a living?
So right now, I'm what they call a distribution designer at an electric company.
Okay.
So basically, I just design new construction power lines in like an AutoCAD type software.
All right. How much are we making?
So I make $31.74 an hour.
Okay,
it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
And
So
I'm about to get a raise.
Oops. Well, okay, yeah. Oh, you're gonna get a raise to what?
It's like $33.58 or something like that.
So I see 3,817 comes in.
That sounds right.
Is it about to be like 4,000 after the raise?
I haven't done the math. I haven't done the math, but maybe.
Okay. So, what are we looking at today? We got some weird and interesting debt. You make okay amount of money, so it's like a little confusing. I think we're gonna need a little context.
Okay.
What are we looking at?
So I'm kind of a mess.
Okay.
Okay, so it all started 2 years ago. I got divorced.
Okay.
And
32.
When I left my husband, I was only making like $16 an hour. And so that was not enough. And so I got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I moved into an apartment that I couldn't really afford, but I thought that someone else was going to be living with me in it. So that's
what do you mean? The ex?
No. Okay, so right after I got divorced, I got into a situation with somebody I knew from work. And
no, a work husband.
And
how quickly after the divorce?
Well, like immediately. It was like a rebound, right? I guess is what they would call it.
Okay.
And
like the together. Day after?
Maybe. Sort of. Yes.
Okay.
So I knew him, right? We worked together. That's how we met.
Wait, how long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
Did you guys ever have any kids?
Yes.
And you got with this person a day after?
Yes, but see what? I thought he was like the love of my life.
A day after a divorce, okay.
Yes.
Sure. And you thought he'd be living with you?
Yes. Like I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. But then that wasn't the case because he was married. Oh. Which I know it sounds terrible, right?
That sounds terrible.
I thought he was just like the love of my life, and we met under these unusual circumstances, which technically, like, I was married too, right? Like, so.
Wait Okay, no, sorry, go on. I'm
so like
processing.
From the time I moved out of my house to the time my divorce was finalized was probably like 6 months, maybe a little longer. So like technically I was married.
When so like the day after you were like, hey, I'm divorcing you? Is that how that went?
My ex-husband?
Yeah.
Well, we had like a conversation.
And we were like, okay, so it's ending in a divorce, we understand? Then
yes.
The next day, you were with that dude?
Well, no, I mean, not exactly. But very soon after, yes.
But he was married?
Yes, so I was under the impression that he was the same kind of married that I was, which
The
like
same kind. What kind of married is that?
which is like
That's insane.
no, hear me out. So like
Okay. No, I'm hearing you out. It just doesn't really vibe with my personal morals on that.
right?
But
No.
go for it. Go
So like
ahead.
legally,
You say your thing. We're trying to get context for how you ended up here. So go ahead.
legally married, right?
Oh yeah.
Like was not divorced yet, but we were not living together.
Yeah, but you also met up with the dude the day after, and he was married as well.
Not the day after. That makes within a couple of weeks, right? So, anyways, he had me under the impression that they were getting divorced, but they owned a home together. They owned vehicles together, so it was like a longer process, right?
But yeah, you guys had a kid.
Yeah, but we didn't have any like finances together, so it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Right?
So, guys and girls, everyone out there, this is crazy, right? I did not expect it to be such a chaotic situation, and no one is keying in for the finance, I guess, right? Everyone is keying in for the gossip about her situation, the divorce, and this other man who's also married. And let's just listen.
Like was not divorced yet, but we were not living together.
Yeah, but you also met up with the dude the day after, and he was married.
Wait a second.
It was probably like 6 months, maybe a little longer. So like technically I was married.
When so like the day after you were like, hey, I'm divorcing you? Is that how that went?
My ex-husband?
Yeah.
Well, we had like a conversation.
And we were like, okay, so it's ended in a divorce, we understand? Then
Yes.
the next day, you were with that dude?
Well, I mean, not exactly. But very soon after, yes.
But he was married?
Yes, so I was under the impression that he was the same kind of married that I was, which
The
like
same kind. What kind of married is that?
which is like
That's insane.
no, hear me out. So like
Okay. No, I'm hearing you out. It just doesn't really vibe with my personal morals on that.
right?
But
No.
go for it. Go
So like
ahead. You say your thing. We're trying to get context for how you ended up here. So go ahead.
legally married, right?
Oh yeah.
Like was not divorced yet, but we were not living together.
Yeah, but you also met up with the dude the day after, and he was married as well.
Not the day after. That makes within a couple of.
So, wait. What I'm understanding so far is that this woman, 2 years ago, 32 years old, has one child with her husband. She's working, living her life, and she's working with this other man, her coworker. Good connection, friendly, and suddenly they kind of get more than friendly. Okay, so they're having an affair, let's just say it. And he's married. She knows he's married. He knows he's married. So he's also doing something wrong, obviously. And she's married, right? He's not here. We can only like judge her. She has a child with this man, and she divorces her husband because of this delusional idea that this married man that she's shacking up with at work or having whatever kind of relationship, situationship, so many weird names nowadays. They're gonna get married. He's gonna leave his wife and child or children behind, and move in with you into an apartment that is more expensive than you can afford. Maybe you guys can afford together. I don't know, but just the idea for you to do that, like even let's say that was the plan, okay? Why are you doing all these? Like, why are you doing all these craziness? Why you just go ahead, rent a place that you cannot afford? He's not even out of his situation. I mean, you've kind of taken the step to get divorced at some point. All the wrongdoing, we're not going to skip. I mean, definitely weird, but you did the divorcing. He hasn't even done his divorcing, but yet you're the one who's getting an apartment that you cannot even afford on your own, hoping that he's just going to jump in one day and start paying the rent. That is just not making sense.
Weeks, right? So, anyways, he had me under the impression that they were getting divorced, but they owned a home together. They owned vehicles together, so it was like a longer process, right?
But yeah.
Listen in, okay? This is more entertaining. There is so much gossip. I said already, I'm excited for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, we want to learn something out of this, and we want to listen carefully, okay? She said he had me under the impression that he's going to do XYZ. So, to be honest, that doesn't make it clear if he really said that he wants to get married to you, that he wants to leave his. Why do I always keep saying this word wrong? Leave his wife behind and his family. So you had no grounds to this. You just had the impression and just dump your life behind. And yet you're sitting on a podcast that actually has to do with finance. But to me, and not only this woman, okay, I just find it very odd in general when people who have family, who have like so much responsibility, like their private life, and they just say whatever online to other people, not thinking about the consequence. Like, this child is going to hear this and they're going to think, what?
You guys had a kid.
Yeah, but we didn't have any like finances together, so it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Right? So he was.
Wait a minute. Sorry, guys.
So, anyways, he had me under the impression that they were getting divorced, but they owned a home together. They owned vehicles together, so it was like a longer process, right?
But yeah,
So-
you guys had a kid.
Yeah, but we didn't have.
Yes. And that is insane. I mean, of course, on paper, it's going to be a longer process for people to finalize the divorce, I guess, when like their finances tied, there's like a home that is at risk and all these things. I get that. But just on a basic ground that people go through life thinking that a child is less of a responsibility, less of a commitment, or less of a priority, right? Or less of a risk in compared to all these materialistic things. I'm struggling today. I'm gonna post it anyways, guys. Yeah, sometimes you just struggle with talking. But you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. And for everyone, like, this is not just on her, like, you see this a lot happening, that we would take all these things that, yes, they do have their value and they have their stand in life, I get that, but we would like put them so much higher than the actual commitment, which is, oh my god, you just had a child with that someone, you're actually tied to that person, right? It might take longer for someone to finalize a divorce because they have a home tied to each other and the finances tied to each other and all the other purchases that they have had over the years. But if you have a child with someone, the bond is different. Okay, you might get the divorce, but at the end of the day, that person is the father of your child. You're gonna be seeing that person. It's gonna jump over generational wise. Like, come on now, that is such a big deal.
Have any like finances together, so it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Right? So he was like, I'm leaving. Like, they're not together anymore, right? They're just in this process of getting divorced. That was my understanding. Turned out that wasn't the case at all. And I found that out several months
How long are you guys together?
Me and the guy.
Really? This man who did this to you, he's an, the word that I'm thinking about, really, it's bad, it's wrong, but we cannot sit here and pretend that you did not put yourself into this position because you were playing a stupid game and you won a stupid prize. You were playing a bad game from jump, right? He did you wrong. He's really like so much disrespect to this person because he did his wife wrong, or we don't even know what their situation is, to be honest, because some people are just living a different life, okay? But if that was the truth, then he did you wrong, and that's not fair. That's not all that good stuff. Okay, I get that. But at the end of the day, this could only have happened because you allowed it and because you chose to put yourself in that position. You chose to do the things the wrong way, right? You were not patient enough to take the right step. You wanted to just have your cake and eat it too.
Sorry, I know this isn't like straight finances right here. We're trying to give context with finances, but I do have to be a little honest that I am quite interested in this.
That's fine.
So I will give it at least a couple more minutes.
We were together maybe 6 months.
You and the married guy.
Yeah, married.
Banging
That's
it
what
up.
I thought.
Banging it up. You were...
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, of course.
And he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically. That is true.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
They're still together.
Wait a minute, and you signed a lease.
Embarrassing, but she's not really acting like it's embarrassing. I get it. Maybe she's over it. No, I don't get it, to be very honest. But like, maybe she's over it in some sense, but just her mannerism in general is very difficult for me to describe. She seems to be very like friendly, giggly, bubbly, all that good stuff, but also not really present, right? She's like here but not really here. And for if I would close my eyes, I wouldn't have thought this is someone who's like 34 by now, because she just talks like a teenager somehow. Um, I don't know, just the whole presentation, the shirt with the mushrooms. She's, I don't know, to me, she's selling herself like this. I'm my opinion, and maybe I'm just, doing too much right now. She's selling herself as this, Dolly-ish person. I don't know better, but I'm just super sweet and kind. Comes with a certain kind of, how should I put it? It comes with a certain type of persona that fits into a certain type of group of people who would be interested in this. Like, don't get me wrong, this is not a bash. Like, it's actually cool. People can do what they want, but like this nerdish kind of gamer-ish kind of type. And to be honest, the first few minutes so far, I'm just thinking, who knows what she's about? Who knows what she's about?
He's expecting him to live with you? Yeah, they're still together. Does she know?
Oh, yeah.
Are they open?
No.
Don't cheat on me. Don't. Future wife, please don't cheat on me. Don't cheat on me. Don't cheat on me. Future wife, please don't cheat on me. Don't cheat on me. Future wife, please don't cheat on me.
He's been sitting there all this while listening to the story and just thinking, oh my gosh, there are really women out there like this. Yes, but there are also men out there like this. There's just people out there like this who unfortunately will choose to hurt someone else, or even to choose to hurt themselves, because most of the times, like, if you look at it, it's like, where did this get you, right? What did you get from this? But yeah, what do I know?